guys, welcome back to another episode of What Blah Blah. We'll be seeing episode 33 in today's episode, or I guess this week's episode. But before we get into the video, I want to do power rankings, even though I did them like 5 episodes ago. This won't be any ordinary power rankings. We will have GDP, military, and overall power rankings. So let's start here with the GDP one. And if it's bad quality, it's because I couldn't fit it anywhere else on the map. So I had to put it smaller. And it now looks bad. So in number 10 for GDP, we have Korea. They kind of just became big and they're kind of still sorting things out, but they could be top 5 if they in like a decade or so. North Iberia, they really want, like, they are being pulled up by their economy. Well, but they are being pulled up by mainland them, not their colonies, because they don't have too many colonies. Well, they have the most, I think, actually, but not the most land. India has been rising over the last episodes, like as it's expanded rapidly, and well, not rapidly, but like, well, kind of rapidly, and it's been doing a surprisingly good job at handling all that. And in 7th place we have Egypt. Egypt is steadily on the decline, as Egypt has stagnant economy and a skyrocketing at the moment, like unemployed rate. That's what I meant to say. Japan is like more of a military power, and also they had a civil war a few episodes ago, so they haven't really rebuilt fully by now. Then we have North Italy in 5th. They've been around for a while, but they've never been like a great power. I mean, they don't really have too many good lands because they have Alps. But they've always been around 5, between 4 and 6th place on all of the rankings. And it is that they are increasing though. They are in a few episodes they could reach 3rd or more. So in 4th place we have the red team. The red team is very powerful. Well, they have historical power, and they've been focusing primarily on their economy recently. Well, since they got their independence, because you can't really have a big military if you don't have a big economy. Well, that's not really true, but that's what they think, okay? Don't know the after red team. In 3rd place we have China. Their economy, well, it's China's economy, it's going to be powerful. China has the 3rd economy, and in 2nd place we have France with their GDP. When I say GDP, I mean I'm basically just talking about economy, honestly. And that's basically what I'm saying. We have France in 2nd, as France is very powerful, which means they have to have a good economy. So they are rising, but not as fast as the rising power, which is the Dutch. The Dutch are in number 1, as they have the biggest economy, as well. They have a big economy, and they have a economy that's about 15% bigger than France's. They have a massive economy, and they're really untouchable at the moment. They're kind of untouchable in this category. So let's go to the military. In 10th place we have the red team, and they could like I said, they've been focusing on their economy. Then we have neutral. Neutral is quickly rising in the military, like I said in the last episode. They are planning to get to place number 6. Well, we're not planning to, but that's probably what's going to happen unless something happens. And Iran is in number 8, as like I said, Iran has a top 10 economy, military, sorry. And the military is powerful because, they've had to fight 4 wars. They are rapidly increasing. And North Italy is in 7th, North Iberia, sorry. North Iberia, they need a big military to fulfill their, expansionist wanting, they want to expand, and their like colonial intentions. And when it says North here, that means it's North Italy. I couldn't fit it in here, okay? I couldn't fit it. So so like I said, they hover around 4th to 5th to 6th in like everything. So they kind of just like they'd rather not have the spotlight because, well, their military kind of really can't handle Europe because Europe is way stronger than any other continent, I guess. Well, yeah. You have India in 5th place, as India has like quickly risen up after all the wars they faced, because they have to have a big army to face tons of wars. Then we have China in 4th place, and China, like I said, with India, they've been fighting lots of wars, and they need a big military to do so. China and India are very similar, like maybe like 0.3% difference, like very small difference. The Dutch are in number 3rd place, in the number 3 spot. The Dutch have a really good army. Like, there is a big gap between China and the Dutch. Like, big gap of like probably 15%, 20-ish%. It's a big difference, and I probably should have done that. Like, I probably should have lined there or something. I don't know. But this is the big gap, like, area of the military. As for Dutch, like, they used to be really powerful, and they kind of still want to keep the military up just in case, because there's a lot of enemies. Well, not a lot of enemies, but on Europe there's a lot of threats. And second place we have Algeria. Why Algeria? Is because, well, they fought a civil war, and they had to come out on top of that civil war. So you have to have a lot of military to fight a civil war, like a lot. So I could see them dropping down in places in a few episodes. And in number 1, France. France is the strongest country in the world in terms of military. They could probably take on anyone. So yeah. And there's no real, like, they just have to, like, because they're just, like, this is funny. Like, one of France's leaders, look, this is the line tool still, oops. They had, like, one of the leaders of France was super paranoid about a Dutch invasion at some point, so they just ramped up the military, and they never really brought it back down, so, and they've kind of just increased it, but no, well, I guess they kind of did it because of the rise of, like, oh my god, I keep doing that. Because of the rise of North Iberia. Because North Iberia has been on the rise for a few episodes. And France sees as it's a threat to their Spanish holdings. Because, you know, they have like Galicia, is that what it's called? And they need a big military to hold them off, which I don't really know why you need number 1. But, yeah, okay. Let's go to the over. So in 10th place we have the MEU, which is the Middle Eastern Union that appeared. The reason they weren't on any of the other ones is because they kind of hovered around 11 on like all of them. So yeah, they kind of just like they've been just off the list for all of them. Like combining 3 kind of big countries into one is going to have a good-ish overall status. And then we have Iran in 9th. Their economy is the only thing that's really lacking and stopping them from going any higher. They just need to get that crap up, and they could go up to probably number 5, 6, 7. And India is in number 8. Surprisingly, like I said, they've been on the rise, and the military really keeps them up here. And yeah, the 7th is the red team. They have good overall stats, but if I remember correctly, how do I already forget what the other rankings were? Oh my god. They are probably, I can't remember, they were 4th place in one of them, I don't remember. And in 6th place you have Japan, as, like I said, they've steadily been on the rise, and I keep forgetting the old. Okay, North Iberia is next. Their military is getting up there, and like France, even France is kind of worried about it. North Italy, like I said, they hover around the 4th to 6th range. They really don't want to have all the spotlight, and they build up. They build up to an extent, but not like as much as they could. Like they like they are a little bit they're like 5% weaker than China, but they could probably close that gap if they wanted to. But they're not a militaristic nation. So, yeah. And we have in third place we have China. They've been on the rise steadily. Some of their conflicts fail, some of them don't. Just how it is. In the second place we have the Dutch. The Dutch have been on the rise steadily but surely ever since their semi-collapse back in like episode 21? Was it? Was it 21 or 22? So yeah, they've been steadily on the rise. But number one is still France. France is second place in economy, first place in military, and the one that was winning in economy was the Dutch, and they were third place in military. So because these two are quite similar, but the France very much does have like an edge of probably about 5 to 10% overall. So yeah, let's get into the video. And if you guys were wondering what happened over here, I completely forgot about this colony. So yeah, we are going to be granting independence in that peace treaty because I very much forgot about it. Because I chose a green for them and I just thought it looked really ugly, so I got rid of it. And now the capital city is going to be on the coast over here somewhere. It doesn't really matter what does. But also, while the things were happening, this pink nation is going to go ahead and take some territory. So that's the territory they are going to take. They are going to take a little bit of land from them, not too big, but also resulting in it will have basically these guys claiming like all of the territory back. We're just gonna say that on the original border. I don't really care. Well, I do, but I don't remember what the original border was. So, like I said in the previous episodes, these lines are claims. So, and this doesn't necessarily mean that the world recognizes the pink team's claim. I just didn't know any other way to do it without it being super annoying to do every single time. So, these claims are the pink team's one. It's a whole mess, and it's kind of similar to Western Sahara in a way. Nobody really knows what to do about it. So, well, yeah, great. And there will be a nation that will be setting a colony in, well, Australia. The red team will launch a surprise invasion on this one right here. They launch a surprise invasion, taking its capital, and they will force it to surrender within 2 weeks because remember they're not super advanced. So yeah. And then North Iberia, seeing this, will decide that it's their time to do something. I don't know. So they will invade this wrong colour. They will invade this island, and they will make a push from the northern parts, but they will quickly overrun the island and then the rest of the nation, and they will annex it, well, into them. So, yeah. But yeah, and also they discovered New Zealand and took it. Okay. They will invade. They will also attack these two nations, occupying a sizable amount of land very, very fast. They will take all of this territory within like a week. And then this one will surrender, then this one will surrender. And well, these guys have expanded their Australian colony like a lot, like I bet 10. And France, everybody loves France, right? France themselves will swoop in and will take the rest of them. You guys don't want to see the war because you already know how it ends. France will annex these two nations. So I'm gonna have to do all of editing. That's a job for future me. Yeah. China is, you know how we said they had a good economy? Yeah. It's going to crash. As China has a lot of assets in Japanese banks and stuff like that, and economy stuff. They have people in the government have invested a lot in Japan, and tensions will break down over naval trade routes, which will look something like this as a naval trade route, as China thinks it would be easier to go around here and then line it up to Japan's island here. That's what, and then connected like that. That's what China thinks and kind of wants. But Japan, they think it'd be better if you went through there and linked it up there, and then linked it up like this, and so then it could be more useful. And they will have a falling out because of this, and it will cause Japan to seize all the assets they had, which is a lot of money. It's a quarter of China's GDP, in fact, a quarter. That is a crap ton of assets. And well, their economy is gonna crash because of it. Their economy is gonna crash, and it will give the perfect opportunity for their puppet states to officially break away from them, and form their own states. As well, this one has followed, like what I just said, and this one will too. And they will both declare their independence, and China can't do anything to stop it because, their economy is broken. And now they are panicking and trying to figure out how to, fix the economy. It's probably less than not a quarter of their economy. It's probably more like 10%, but still a lot. It doesn't really matter the specifics, but does it? Well, yeah. In Europe, a small invasion force from Russia will go into their nation again, and then they will quickly push it out, and they will be mad at Russia for this, and then they will officially state that they are no longer neutral. They've tried neutrality for 1,000 years at this point. It hasn't worked, so they're giving up on the thing, and they are instead forming they are also forming a democracy, so they can have new cycles of people and new fresh leadership to better ideas on how to defend this invasion on the Polish, because they see that the colonization in Australia or Oceania, I don't even know what to call it anymore, is going to boost other nations' economy. So they will see that taking some of Poland's land could help boost their economy. So they will just kind of take it, and then the military, and then Russia will start secretly sending troops into Poland, which will cause a bit of pushback with the combined armies, as Poland is top 20, I'd say, and paired with a top maybe 10 or 15 power, I don't remember. They can do some pretty serious damage. And they will make a pushback, and let's just call this an upset, as Poland will slowly make more gains back toward the border. And then they will be forced into a stalemate, and they will be forced into a peace treaty, which will look something like this. As Poland has lost some territory, but I'd still call that an upset. they wanted to annex the nation, but I still call that an upset, honestly. And this will push Poland to be more aligned with Russia, which it might be important in the future. I don't know. And meanwhile, the ban on alliances from that treaty in a nation that no longer exists, funny enough, well, at least that's not powerful anymore, is now the time is up. The alliances can be formed once again. Everybody will kind of just sit and wait to see who will make the first move. The first move will end up being made by, surprisingly, Poland, as Poland will join the Circle Alliance that Russia and Japan made. They will join it, and now it's just kind of a defensive alliance or an offensive alliance. I don't really know. You guys can decide. So, yeah. Poland will join this, and everybody is kind of confused, but now you guys know because Russia was helping them. Nobody else knows that, but you know that. Yeah. And the second alliance that will be formed will be like this thing. I forgot what it's called. Oh, the diamond. It's the Diamond Alliance between this purple sliver thing and, surprisingly enough, the I forgot. North Italy. Sorry, I'm so tired. And North Italy will form this alliance, and now the floodgates are open. No, they did not surrender. They are not French. And there will be a new alliance between France and the Dutch, as the triangle team is formed between these two nations. Well, of course, but yeah, duh. As they are a top two powers in the world, and they can probably take on anybody. So, yeah. France doesn't really have any goals. Their only goal is to stop their main goal at the moment is to stop this North Iberian nation from reaching their mainland border here. So they will invite this small union to join them in the alliance. Well, duh, but so. And then, as a response to this, they will ask North Italy and the Purple Nation if they can join theirs, and they will agree. So, big uh-oh for Europe. Panic scare. So, yeah. And then shortly after, the blue team will join this alliance because they want defense from the red team. Because the red team is going to be looking for some vengeance. I think. Maybe. I don't know. The year is now 1765. And yes, we are going faster because I want to get to the Industrial Revolution, which we are getting to. And one thing we're getting to, I mean, it's happening now, as the Industrial Revolution has started in, surprisingly, North Italy. They are doing a lot of stuff today. As North Italy will start the Industrial Revolution, one way or another. I don't know how it's going to start, they just do it. Okay, I don't know. I don't know. They just do it. I don't... Like, you know how hard it is to find information, at least on YouTube, about, like, this time period? Like, I found one video of this time period, and it was the 7 Years' War, so it's very hard for me to get information about that, so I don't really know. So, they will start it, and it will quickly spread across the continent. It starts, well, in their capital city. It spreads to the purple team, then the green team, then this team, and this team, and all the way to France, then to the Netherlands. And then to this, and then this nation, and then over all the way down to here, to here, to here, and it quickly spreads across the continent. And then it will spread through this nation, then it will go to this nation, then it goes to Poland, and then into Russia, and into neutral. And by the end of this time, the only nations that don't have it in Europe are these two. Well, yeah, and these nations will get it. So yeah, but this is mainly just a European thing at the moment, and you can see it hasn't spread out from Europe at the moment, as it's like it keeps expanding, but it's still mainly in Europe. So well, it's in Europe, but so at the moment Europe has so much power at the moment because well, one, it's Europe, and they've kind of always had a lot of power, and now they have the Industrial Revolution out on the side where the rest of the world doesn't have it. This will definitely not change the power rankings we saw a minute ago. So yay! And as a response to this, Turkey will join the Star Alliance as to defend from European aggression because they see that Europe has the power and they don't want to be killed. They don't want to be murdered. Pretty smart move, honestly. And the North Iberians see they can't expand this way. They will decide, hey, how about we just expand somewhere else? And that's what they do. They'll expand somewhere else, and they will expand, and they will send an invasion area to this new purple nation, and they expand, and this nation will put up a pretty good fight, at least from the beginning. But then, as they send stuff from the Industrial Revolution, it quickly, it's not really military stuff because we're not that far yet to where it's developed, but we're seeing the first sort of artillery at the moment. I think we might have already got that. I don't know. We probably already, yeah, no. And I googled it. We already have we got it I don't even know what I'm saying. We got it like 500 years ago. But what we're gonna say, what I mean, is that these guys are dominating as they will spearhead towards the capital city. And as they get really close to it, they surrender. And they'll be annexed into this nation, and all fighting stops forever to come. Hopefully. But maybe not. No. As the colonists now expand to a whole nother continent, which is very worrying to a lot of nations. So, and something that's gonna happen, which is kind of cool, is that the Orange team is going to have a small breakaway in its exclave or semi-exclave, I guess, over here, which is something. And this will cause a ton of chaos, surprisingly enough, which will end up leading to a breakaway in the south areas. But and because China's not gonna defend them now, you just break away from them. So this is gonna be a breakaway state. And this isn't it. I get to finally put down this color in this region now because the other nation's kind of dead. Well, it's not dead, but it's kind of dead. As another one will break away in this region, and then another one will break away in the northern areas up here, which is becoming a what did I miss? Oh, duh. As they will form their own independent state, and then the Green Nation here will take some territory because they can, and they will just take this territory, and then another breakaway will appear if I can find the color. Okay, so there's a color, and then there will be a breakaway state in the south of the nation, and there'll be another breakaway in this northern area, and then the rest is left alone for now. It won't die. It hopefully doesn't die to next episode. No, I'm not saying anything now. So now a lot of new nations in this area. So well, good for them. As the nations have gained independence, they will start building up their economy and, well, I guess doing what they want. A lot of these two nations will start working together with this nation and India, which is kind of what the others will shortly follow, as they don't want to work with China because they know what it's like to be under China. They're very evil, to put it in a not bad term. They were evil, and they'd rather be with their enemy, I guess, frenemy, I don't know, India, and a miniature Cold War will start. This is the second one this series, but this is more of a actual Cold War because the other one was like a small African one. But this is a bad one. If these guys got to war, they would probably, I don't know, kill millions of people. I don't know. And nobody wants that. So they will decide that being a Cold War is better than a war. So they will try to rebuild ties, and they will both try to influence neutral nations like Vietnam and Vietnam, and a lot of things in the middle. India seems to be winning the Cold War though, because, well, most of these middle nations here are going to their side. Because, well, they don't like China, because they know what it's like to be under China. Well, duh, but... And even this nation will go over to India's side as they helped them get their independence. So, well, yeah. Yeah. Russia feels very threatened by these guys on their border, so they will quickly ramp up military exercises in the region, trying to scare these guys off so then they leave. But they don't leave. What they do instead is they start building up their military. Now we have a standoff on the border, and some Russian troops decided it would be a good idea to shoot. Why? Why did you think that was a good idea? So now they are at war. So now the Circle team is at war with the Diamond team. They're lucky that this is their only direct border, because if it wasn't, that would be bloody. This is their only direct border, so they're lucky for both sides. But if you want to see what happened in this war, you have to wait until the next episode. So stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you in October. Is it?